Oh, what is he saying? What is he saying?
He's just saying I'm avoiding him. I'm playing pigeon chess. Now, there is no wait. Now, let's look at Quran 65:4, right, which speaks of the waiting period for a woman, which is 3 months. Okay, so now let's look at the official ruling within Islamic law. There is no waiting period for a woman divorced
Yeah.
before having had sexual intercourse with her husband. So if she has not had sex, there is no waiting period. However, a waiting period is obligatory for a woman divorced after intercourse, whether the husband and wife are prepubescent, right?
Hmm.
I hope the Muslims in the channel are listening carefully and looking at the screen. Or one is prepubescent and the other, or one has reached puberty and the other has not reached puberty. And intercourse here means copulation. So your thoughts on that, and those in the comments. This very clearly stipulates what it says. It doesn't mean
Hmm.
something else. So your thoughts, Shamoun.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. That's all I can say. Waiting period is obligatory for a woman divorced after intercourse. Sure.
Yes. So this is Islamic law. Now this is valid for Sunni Islam. Understand? This is not. Now Muslims would love to tell you about that Shafi fiqh. Well, as if Shafi, Hanbali, Hanafi, and Maliki fiqh are four separate religions. They're not. Don't forget, there is supposed to be unity within the religion. If it's perfect, there is unity, and these schools all agree on these rulings, right? The areas where
Okay,
they
so let's continue um with the sources because I think the time's running
okay,
out
fine.
and
So
we
let's
we need to
so let me run through. The
get
waiting
going.
period for a woman who does not menstruate, whether prepubescent or not, is 3 months. The waiting period for a woman who does not menstruate is whether prepubescent. So in other words, that's your wife. She needs to wait 3 months just in case. Right? We'll continue. Right. So now we're talking about
Waiting period for what? Waiting period for what?
divorce.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So here they speak of the husband must be at least 9.5 years old. Okay? A husband of at least 9.5 years old. So now you're talking about a child bride again, a child husband. The husband is not legally considered blah blah blah. But now, okay. Now notice they mention here in this number rule 3, the husband is under the above mentioned age, under 9.5 years old. So there are rules that apply to
Yeah.
a husband who is less than 9.5 years old. Let's continue,
Yeah.
right? Anyone
Yeah.
who
Let's
charges his
continue.
wife with adultery, okay, provided he has reached puberty. So, in other words, a man can charge his wife with adultery, but he must have reached puberty to do so, right? He must have reached
Yeah.
puberty to do so. And of course, the husband who does accuse his wife of adultery is disciplined by the magistrate, especially when adultery is impossible, such as when the person accused, his wife, is a mere infant. Especially such as when the wife is a mere infant. So, in other words,
Wait a minute.
I'm going to
A
bring,
husband who accuses his wife of adultery is disciplined, okay? A man who accuses his wife of adultery, he is disciplined.
this is an infant.
Um,
If he accuses his wife of cheating on him, but it's impossible, he is disciplined because she could not have voluntarily gone and done something. Someone could have approached
oh
her,
yeah, you
but
even you showed us a word, infant in cradles.
this is
So,
infant. This is
yeah,
infant. Now
that
you
was
have a
my next
man
question.
accusing his infant wife of adultery, right?
Yeah. So my next question is that how do we know how infant is defined within the Sharia manual? And you did in the beginning make note of that is that within the Sharia manual, an infant is one that is found in a cradle, and therefore cradles are for babies.
Right, exactly. So
Okay.
now we have infants, and we've seen what an infant is. Now you know what an infant is. And they're speaking about you're accusing your infant wife because she should be having sex with you and not with some stranger. Okay, just so you know, this is the other rulings on apostasy, and it says very clearly that whoever voluntarily leaves Islam is killed. There is no ambiguity about that. Okay, there is no ambiguity
Yeah.
about that. So if we go through and I look, right, let me just step through. So in other words, it is not legal for someone to uh, I swear.
The screen is stuck on my end. I'm just still looking at infant babies.
Yeah, no, so hold on. That's fine. So stuck on your end. So I'll have to. Okay, so it should have changed by now. Do you still see anything?
No, I'm still looking at babies.
Okay, I'm going to change my screen over and I'm going to change back and hopefully you come back. Now, understand, Muslims are not allowed to disagree, right? An apostasy from Islam. So I need to reiterate this. When a person has reached puberty and is sane voluntarily apostatizes from Islam, he deserves to be killed, right? Um,
I am still stuck, eh?
you're still stuck. I'm not sure how we can recover
Oh
that.
no! Oh my goodness! No, 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 no! I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I
Oh,
by mistake pressed pause on my screen. Silly
okay,
me.
right. So now, so understand that Muslims cannot disagree, right? They're not allowed to disagree with Islam. That is apostasy, and apostates are killed. Understand? So now notice now the final one here on, and I will go to another Sharia manual in a minute. But understand now, this speaks of someone who's prepubescent at the time of intercourse. This has specific reference to someone who's prepubescent at the time of intercourse. So I can move over to the Hadaya and we can discuss that. But I think we've established here they're
Okay.
speaking of.
I just wanted to just let our viewers know that there's a specific hadith, Sahih Muslim, right? Book 008, number 3311, in which Aisha says, right, narrated, Aisha married the Prophet when she was 7 years old, and he was taken to his household. She was taken to his household as a bride when she was 9, and her dolls were with her. Now, why the dolls issue is important is because within the Islamic discussion and Islamic hadith, a girl having dolls is a child that is still prepubescent. Now you can check that out. Is that a girl that has reached puberty, or is now, first of all, puberty is not a day. It's not like, oh, you sleep tonight, you hadn't hit puberty, and in the morning you've hit puberty. It's a stage, right? It takes a couple of years and stuff.